So I'm continuing the discussion about self-employment because I want to save these videos to distribute to more people because I get questions about this quite often. So this particular video, I want to touch on one of the key points that I made in the videos yesterday, which was about leaning into your tendencies instead of trying to oppose them. So one piece of advice that I had always gotten was wake up early in order to get more work done. But I'm not a morning person. My energy is really, really high in the afternoon, and then it tends to be really high again in the evening. I'm a night person. I've always been called a night owl. So instead of trying to force myself to wake up at 5 o'clock, I instead leaned into what is natural for me, and I do still put in a lot of work hours, and I get a lot done, but I'm not going to oppose what's natural for me. I'm not going to make myself wake up at 5 o'clock just because that's what worked for someone else. Another thing for yesterday is someone asked how many hours do I typically put in per week. So if you look at the schedule that I discussed yesterday, so there was like checking emails in the morning. But like I mentioned, I typically do that from the bed. I don't actually usually do it for 2 hours from 8 to 10, so I don't really count that as being 2 hours. 11 to 2 is when I do most of my work. So that right there is like a 3-hour window. I would say on most work days, I can put between 6 to 10 hours. Not every day is a work day. And sometimes that time includes education. Sometimes it includes research. So it's not always active work. Another thing is that I really enjoy what I do. And because, like I said just now, like I'm leaning into what's natural for me with my schedule, with my habits and all of this, it doesn't feel like a burden. So that's something that I think is really important. So you definitely don't want to overwork yourself. I definitely take days off. They're usually not on the weekend because a lot of my clients need me on the weekend. But I do take days off. I do have self-care days, and I make sure not only now, especially what I do is it's in my schedule as though it's a meeting. And when someone asks me if I have time available, I might say, well, I have a meeting or I have an appointment, and it may or may not be business related. It might be self-care related. And I consider that to be an appointment with myself. So yes, I do work 6-hour minimum, 10-hour maximum. I try to hold myself to that so that I don't get overworked. I suggest getting in the habit of setting daily goals and weekly goals so that way you avoid being overworked. Because once you achieve that goal, you reach that milestone, you just press pause for the day. Come back for more information.